Very good morning, students. Today we are moving to next part, that is literacy rate. Why it is needed to understand the literacy rate with the population? Because the population as a resource, a human resource, we have seen already in second chapter of economics. So we know what is the importance of literacy rate, then occupation structure, need of employment, then health. These points already we have studied. So just we will go through. Literacy is a very important quality of population. Obviously, only an informed and educated citizen can make intelligent choice and undertake research and development projects. You can underline that word. Why it is important? Education, it is important. The educated as well as informed citizen, they can make intelligent choice as well as they can undertake researches and development projects. Then now the level of literacy are seriously obstacle for economical development here in India. Then according to census 2011, a person aged 7 years and above who can read and write with understanding in any language is treated as literate. What is mean by literacy? Literate, according to the Indian our understanding, our own country understanding, that is the person with above 7 years old and he or she should able to read and write and with understanding. Just writing his or her name, not like that. They want to understand what they are reading and writing, and that in any language, it may be any vernacular language or English or Hindi, like that, any language that we will consider as a literate. There has been a steady improvement in literacy level in India. The literacy rate in the country as per the census 2011, that is 73% and 80.9% for male and 64.6% for female. And we know the why it is. There are some traditional reasons are there for the difference in literacy rate and other thing. So that we will see in the coming lessons in economics as well as in the 10th standard also we will discuss that one. The next one, it is occupational structure. The percentage of the occupation that is economically active and is an important index of development. Means if there is employment opportunities or job opportunity, then we can see the faster development of economy of a country. The distribution of population according to the different types of occupation is referred to as the occupational structure. What is the meaning of occupational structure? That is the distribution of population according to different types of occupation. For example, engineers, doctors, teachers, farmers, like that, all together it will come. And how many people they are working, what is the percentage of teachers, what is the percentage of doctors, like that, things we want to understand. Then that understanding, it is known as the occupational structure. An enormous variety of occupations are found in our in any country. Occupations are generally classified as primary, secondary and tertiary. That points also we know what is primary activity occupation, secondary occupation, tertiary occupation. Just to go through, primary activities included agriculture, animal husbandry, forestry, fishing, mining and quarrying. These points we want to learn again in 10th standard, so be careful. Then again the secondary activity, that is the activity include manufacturing industry, building, construction work, etc. Then tertiary activities include transportation, communication, commerce, administration and other services. So three types of economical activities are there. Our occupational structure we can divide into three. One is primary, secondary, tertiary. The proportion of the people working in the different activities varies in developed and developing countries. If you are thinking about India, we can see primary activity, that is 70% of our people participating in the primary activity. Then 20% they are working or 15% they are working as a secondary activity and 10% tertiary activity. This was the form up to 1950 or 1960. Then afterwards we can see the changes, that is agriculture related work, it is going to 50%, that is 50%. Then rest 25% secondary activity, 25% tertiary activity. Now this is the agriculture present situation after globalization. We can see the primary activity, that is 25 to 30%. Then secondary activity also 30 percentage, means total it will come 60 to 65 percentage. Then rest of the 40 percentage it is coming tertiary activities. That is the present ratio of Indian these three sectors occupational structure. Okay, in that we can see domestic service or like that small services also included in that. Then next one, developed nations have tertiary activities. Developing countries tend to have higher proportion of the workforce engaged in primary activities. In India, about 64% is engaged only in agriculture, means the present not directly engaged in agriculture, but partially agriculture as well as partially service sector they are engaging. The population of the proportion of the population depends on secondary and tertiary sector is about 13 and 20 percentage respectively. There is an occupational shift in favor of secondary and tertiary sector because of the growing industrialization and urbanization in recent times. What I said, now present, that is the total primary and secondary activity it is coming 60% and 40% it is service sector, that is now present 2011 and on time, and you will see that one in the 10th standard detail way. The next one it is health. Health is an important component of the population composition which affects the process of the development. If the people they are healthy, then only they can work, then only they can earn money, then only we can say we are developing. Okay, sustained effort of government program has registered significant improvement in the health conditions of Indian population. Present with the help of WHO and Indian central government as well as state governments, we are trying to give the better services, health services to the people. Then everyday steady or sustainable activity we can see from the part of the government for the health progress. Then death rate has declined from 20 per thousand population in 1951 and to 7.2 per thousand in 2011. So the death rate it is very fastly declined. Though so the lifetime it is increasing, life expectancy it is increasing, that we can see. Then next one is life expectancy as birth has increased from 36.7 years in 1951, now 67.9 years in 2012. Then the sustainable improvement in the result of many factors, including improvement in public health, prevention of infectious diseases, and application of modern medicine practices in diagnosis and treatment of alignment. We can see the present day how we are trying to, the government is trying to make the sustainable improvement in the health. For that purpose, what all things they are doing, the government is improved the public health facilities. We can see in every villages, we can see the PHC primary health centers. Then we know the prevention activities of the to prevent the disease. For that purpose, vaccination, free vaccination, especially for small kids, it is free vaccination. It is available in the government hospital in prescribed days. Then application of modern medical practices in diagnosis and treatment. We know the in olden days we was using Ayurvedic or Unani like that treatment, but there was no like that diagnosis methods we was not using. That is not the technological thing we was using. So nowadays we are using the modern medicine plus the old medicine what we was using, both together we are using, and we can see the even in diagnosis method in also and in treatment also we are using the modern medical practices like lab and X-ray centers, scanning centers like that. Even the Ayurvedic doctors, they are also sending for the lab test and other things. Despite considerable achievement in the health situation is a matter of major concern for India. What we had in olden days, malaria or this paralysis like that problems very less nowadays. Still it is there. I am not saying like that a total minus, no, there is, but it is reduced 50% or 30% reduced the sickness like that, which was taking the life of the people. Now we are reaching to the means the medium level like that. We are getting some sickness and not this corona, otherwise also. Okay. The per capita calories consumption is much below the recommended levels, and the malnutrition affects a large percentage of our population. Why we are facing still problem related to health? Because of the malnutrition. We are not able to consume how much the WHO said or the given according to the rural areas or city area. Our people are not getting that much food. And safe drinking water, that is another problem, and basic sanitation amenities are available to only 1/3 of the rural population. Not even 1/3, don't think. Means the government is making toilets and other toilets, but the people, they are not aware about the need of the using of the toilets. So 1/3 of the population only using. We are 138 crore people. In that 1/3 of the population only using, means 3 crore people only using the toilets and other things. These problems need to be tackled through an appropriate population policy. To solve these problems related to the population problems, we are thinking about some of the policies what government having, that we are going to think. Okay, that we will continue in next video.